Who is the best Minecraft YouTuber who isn't a paedophile?
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Since the dawn of time, man thought it would be better to survive the cruel wilderness if we all banded together into tribes. Tribes with Grug, Thunk, and the Queen, the old coot. Luckily, man has evolved past that phase and into even bigger groups called societies. But man has always had that desire to band together in groups to survive socially and for physical protection. And just like our caveman past and the wilderness of the West, with gangs to keep each other safe, YouTube is a wild land full of manipulative assholes, exploitative parents, and networks trying to eat you up like bloody Standard Oil. People banded together into groups to survive YouTube's changing algorithm. Being part of a group allows your content to be viewed by more people, work together on group projects, and give each other support in hard times. Some major YouTube groups include the Sidemen, the Misfits, and the Dream Team. And as the title of the video suggests, today's topic, the Lunchclub, and how it rose to fame, but just as quickly as they blew up, it all crumbled away. This is the rise and fall of Lunchclub. The rise and fall of Lunchclub follows the story of CallMeCarson and his rise to fame on the internet. Carson King has been uploading onto YouTube since 2012, but his rise didn't really start until 2018. In May/June of 2018, he switched up his style of content to reacting to funny things on the internet with his friends in his series called Recording the Internet. This series was incredibly popular, reaching 100,000 subscribers by July of 2018. People enjoyed his dry and cringe sense of humour, which hadn't been seen on YouTube up to this point. The future was looking bright for Carson King and his friends. But no one would have known what could have happened next. In March of 2019, just after Carson reached 1 million subscribers, C-Scoop, one of Carson's friends who was growing with Carson, suggested starting up a Creators Survival Multiplayer Minecraft server, or SMP, where you have to livestream to play on the server. Carson thought it wouldn't work, but went along with it, and created SMP Live. This changed everything. This was when Lunchclub, or Goop at the time, first started coming together. There has been a lot of confusion on which SMP Live members were actually in Goop at the time. So, this is the list. It's like the Avengers, but with less budget. CallMeCarson, the head honcho of the group, also known as the Corn Shucker.
The Corn Shucker. That's what my dad called me.
Ted Neverson, the giant of the group, and the theatre kid who doesn't seem to have any fear of being in public. J-Schlad, true name unknown. Businessman, Catholic, and possible homosexual. I've reached out for a response, and so far, I've heard nothing. C-Scoop, just think of an average Californian and you know exactly who and what he is. Travis, the little brother of the group, who has as many brain cells as Helen Keller has working eyes. Slimesicle, the one that did that one corn video and nothing else. And Noah Hugbox, basically the Misfits. As SMP Live began to grow and grow, and adding more and more creators like Captain Sparkles, Skydoes Minecraft, and Will Basut, Goop got closer and closer together and carried on growing on both Twitch and YouTube. The next step was to create a group channel and a business. During 2019, the group had a podcast called The Goopcast. It was a podcast about them chatting about life, basically. Due to Gwyneth Paltrow and her pussy candle, they got a cease and desist about their name due to her brand being called Goop too. Pretty cringe, I know. So, they had to come up with a new name, and they had a whole list of them, such as Tube Dudes, Talk Guys, Gunk, Awesome Club, and Gay Men. But after their temporary name of Fart Club, they finally came up with the name Lunch Club on the 25th of January in the year of our Lord 2020. They released the first video on the new Lunch Club channel, called We Are Lunch Club, a short montage of what they did together. They went on trips to California together, where they did stuff like going to rob other YouTubers and doing zoo bingo. They also did many collaborations with the Misfits group when they went on a camping trip with them in Australia. This was when Lunchclub was at the peak of their popularity. Nothing could touch them. But Then things started to slip downhill. By March of 2020, Carson had gotten into some drama when his supposed girlfriend, Caterino, cheated on him for Fitz, who was a close friend to Carson at the time. Many people were on Carson's side, and he chose to stop uploading for a while and took a break. During this time, the Lunchclub stopped playing together as much. At the time, no one really paid too much attention to it, as a lockdown had just started and Carson was not in the best space mentally, and so the internet thought they just stopped playing and talking and interacting with each other, but were still friends. People also took note that Carson moved out of the house he had with Travis, Cooper and Noah, and moved back in with his family. People began to wonder, but mostly people were supporting Carson, as he said he was in one of the worst moments of his life. And so people were on his side and didn't ask too many questions. He came back to YouTube on the 26th of April 2020, and everything seemed to go back to normal. In his coming back stream, he was talking to Jackus and Josh like things used to be.
Whoa.
Hey, pussy fart.
And everyone thought things went back to normal, and the rest of 2020 went by with no real problems. But as Carson said himself, wait until you see how bad 2021 can be. By God, was he correct. January 4th, 2021. The day before my 18th birthday. Travis and Noah went on to Drama Alert and came out to describe that Carson had been sending inappropriate messages to his fans who were under the age of 18 back when he was 19 in 2019. In the beginning, people were split on how they felt about it. Then the Twitter thread came out about how Carson had groomed some of his female fans. I will link the thread in the description and show screenshots on screen, but I won't read them as I genuinely find them disgusting. When this news came out, his close friends came out with statements condemning him, and the public learnt the true story. In the start of 2020, Carson had told the whole of Lunchclub that he had been sexting minors. The members of Lunchclub and his friends had two reactions to this situation. A. Trying to help him improve and support him through the lowest point in his life. Or B. Completely distance themselves from Carson as quickly as possible. People in Camp B include Slimesicle, who reported Carson's actions to the police, Cooper, Travis and Noah. But there were some in Camp A, like Jschlat, Josh, and Connor Eats Pants and Ted. They came out with their statements of how betrayed and disappointed they were in Carson. The problem that many people had with this situation was not the age gap, because it's only 2 years. The problem people had was the power Carson had over these fans, that he took advantage of. I'm going to repeat what many of his friends stated as well, saying, Carson isn't a pedo, or a nonce, or a kiddie fiddler, but he was a complete idiot, and completely in the wrong. I hope he can get the help he needs, and doesn't do anything rash or sudden. Lunchclub was one of the biggest inspirations I had to start my YouTube channel. They provided so many laughs for me in a pretty shitty last few years, and so to see them break up is heartbreaking. I hope they all move on to new things and can still grow, because they're all incredibly talented content creators. But the moral of the situation is that you shouldn't always admire someone so much, because maybe they have a few skeletons in their closet. Thanks for watching, guys, and please, if you enjoyed it, even if it was just a little bit, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps my ego and would be greatly appreciated. Drive safe, and good night.